Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our Sheffield United RTG here on EAFC 24. Returning today with the finale of Season 2. We'll play out the final 7 league games of the campaign, where we're still within a shot at European football, but with a couple of defeats in our last 2 games, it seems like the lads are already on the beach. We're going to kick off today's episode with our final scouting updates from Greece, Norway and England to see if anyone else is going to make it into the academy. So I've gone through the players from England and narrowed it down, and I've still got like 7 or 8 players on the shortlist here. I know I'm probably going to have to be more selective, but there's a few guys here that all look like they could be really decent. So we'll just start promoting some players. Jordan Winter, I will promote, same as Georgios. Samaras will also get a pro deal, but probably be sold in the summer due to the low potential now. Gordon Mitchell, another whose potential seems to be stuck at the same, so he will be promoted to the senior team. So we've made a bit of space in the youth team, but now the senior squad is full, so we're going to have to start being selective with a few more of these players. So I'm going to release this young youth English goalkeeper, Ezra Cox. He is gone, and that does pave the way for Jon Inge Christiansen. As for the other 2, they are just going to have to be rejected. We've not got the space for them. Just one guy here, Makarios Kaya, who I'm tempted to give a pro deal to, but it would mean we have to get rid of somebody, and I think although I just spent some time trying to get him a pro deal, Jon Inge Christiansen with just the 49 overall, came out the academy as a left back, but I did see him as more of a centre back. I'm not too sure. Some of his base stats, he's very good physically, very high aggression, but his technicals are poor. I'm not too sure what to think here. I've actually changed my mind. Connor Payne, I'm going to release. He looked like a decent player, but I actually think Kaya looks like a better fit, so it's just taken me about 15 minutes to work out who I'm going to keep. But here is the full youth system. We've got some players in here with some really high potentials. Obviously, the overall's not the greatest, but if we can get some development plans on them, maybe get them out on loan next year, I think there's a few players here that could definitely turn into great players for Sheffield United. We've got a few out on loan already that I think I might recall and then look to sell next summer, because these guys are much better. So now that we've got the youth academy sorted, for now at least, we're heading into our first game of today's episode. As I mentioned in the intro, still looking to hunt down European football for next campaign, but we have got a lot of work to do. Starting off with a rainy trip to the Amex as we take on Brighton, who are rock bottom of the table. That would be a massive shock if they were to go down this year, and there'd be a few players that I might be eyeing up come the summer transfer window. Still a long way to go, and they're desperate for points, as are we. Let's hope we can pick up all 3 today. Here come Brighton though. Oh, I don't believe it. Our boys are on the beach. They are on the beach. They're like, Gaffer, we've stayed up. We've had a great season in just our 2nd in the top flight. We're not thinking about European football. Osborne gets up well now. Hackney rolls it into Archer. Has Hackney ahead of him again. I see Ings at the far post, and Ola's coming in round the back. Oh, it's a great effort. It's our first real chance of the game. Harmer will swing the corner in. Looks for Archer, and we're level. Despite being really poor in this opening half, we do have our equalising goal. Sucic, lovely feet. Ola, who's been forward a lot today, finds Cameron and laid off to Osborne. Pulled all the way across, and Purvis Estupinian clears it just on the goal line. Nice football. Estupinian's away from Ola. Swings it into the middle. What a save. Oh, I cannot believe that. How unfortunate do you want to get? Brighton back in the lead, and it's Dennis Undav. All taps over, heavy touch. Danny Ings, who's just about to be withdrawn. Covering man comes across. Ings still has it. Danny Ings, 2 apiece. His final impact on the game, and that is a gift from Edmund Tapsoba. Thank you very much. Well, there's the whistle. It's a cracker down on the south coast, but it feels like 2 points dropped after the 2-2 draw. Bottom of the league, Brighton, and we can't even win that one. Our European dreams feel as if they're fading after our last 3 results. So another away trip to the south coast as we take on Southampton here. Newly promoted for this season, of course, but down, struggling towards the bottom of the table once again. 19th place, and another opportunity for 3 points here. If we fail to win this one with our terrible form, I think it's going to be very hard for us to make it into Europe next season, but we're going to push all the way. And here goes Daniel Jebison, and opens the scoring inside 5 minutes. That's more like it. Diallo, who just got the assist for Jebison, looking to get him in again. Oh, Daniel Jebison. Stop that. That is filthy from the young man. 2 goals in 10 minutes, both assisted by Amad Diallo. And that is an absolute cracker from the young Englishman. Southampton looking for a route back into the game. And we have made changes to our defence today. Not quite as strong as Gavin Bazunu. Speaking of strong, gets a good right wrist behind that. And Ahmad looking for the hat-trick to Daniel Jebison. He's done it again. 21 minutes to complete the hat-trick, and all 3 assisted by Amad Diallo. What a start we've had on the south coast here. Saints looking for a goal back here. I've done really well. Ball played inside and slammed home. And just before the break, Southampton do get a goal back. 3-1, and game definitely not over just yet. Oh, I don't believe it. The Saints have a second. Bazunu caught out, and I thought he was just going to save that comfortably. 3-2 with 20 to play. This is not done yet. Gets it out to Perot. Last chance of the game for Southampton. Suleimana, don't throw this away now, boys. Kamaldeen Suleimana swings in the cross. Osborne does well. Not fully cleared just yet. Oh, and I cannot believe we've bottled this. Last kick of the game, and well, that just sums it up for Sheffield United. We are labouring to the end of the season here. 2-2 at Brighton, and now 3-3 here at Southampton. So we now welcome Arsenal to Bramall Lane. They're still in the hunt for top 4. But with our terrible, terrible form as of late, I can only see this going one way. And if we lose here today, I think we lose all hope of making European football for next season. Big, big game, and we need to bounce back. No, this will be a terrible start. And Jesus denied, but Saka slams into the open net. What an awful start this has been. I don't know what's going on this episode. We have just been absolutely awful. Ings, good hold-up play. Harmer has Sucic in support. Luka Sucic with an absolute rocket. 1 apiece, 8 minutes before the break. Sheffield United are level. What a hit from Luka. Partey looking to get away. Hackney gets back at him. Break could be on again here. Danny Ings peeling off Gabriel. And Ings is away from his man. Has Shea Adams in support. Still Shea Adams. And Ramsdale just about beats it behind for the corner. Sucic swings it in. Ings underneath it, and Ramsdale is there again. Couple of brilliant late stops from the Englishman as Arsenal survive and head into the break at 1 apiece. Martin Ødegaard again into Martinelli and Jesus. 2-1 to the Gunners. Just too much quality for us. Martinelli, danger here. Anel comes across but can't stop them, and Martinelli makes it 3. 10 to play. There's the dagger, and Arsenal are taking all 3 points away from Bramall Lane. So heading to London this time to take on West Ham United. They've still got a very outside shot of European football themselves. They've got a lot of work to do, and they'd have to win all of their remaining games and hope for some slip-ups from the teams above them. But for us, it's looking pretty unlikely as well. Taremi's pass cut off, but Paqueta opens the scoring. It's taken 75 minutes in what has been a truly awful game, and we trail once again in this awful run of form. Chance for one last attack, and Cameron Archer with the last kick of the game. Well, I thought it was done and dusted, but the Archer says not just yet, Gaffer. I still don't think it's enough for us, but at least we're not going to fall to another defeat. So here are the league standings heading into our final 3 games. Most teams around us still have 4 to play. I don't think we're going to catch anyone above us. However, looking down the table, we've got Liverpool, Everton and Brentford all having played 34 games who could still catch us. Liverpool and Everton looking most likely, but we do still have to play Brentford as well, so there's every chance they could catch us. But I'm not even sure if 8th is going to make European football for this season because of the cup winners. As you'll see, the FA Cup is contested between Chelsea and Liverpool, and as we already know, Liverpool won the Carabao Cup, but they're not going to finish, by the looks of it, in a Champions League or a Europa League place. So I think the highest they can get is Europa Conference League. I don't really know how it all works with the league positions, but I think because the cup winners aren't in the Champions League, it doesn't open up another league position to go into Europe. So I think we'd need to make 7th, which is looking very unlikely. I'm going to smash through these next 3 games and we'll just see what happens come the end of the season. So first up is Everton, one of the teams just below us in the table. They've got 4 left to play. And I also failed to mention just then about the terrible run of form that we've been on. So it's going to really take something special if we are to make it into Europe. It's a very slim chance at the moment, so we're going to skim over these next 3 games pretty quickly, as I want to do a full season roundup. So I'll bring you all the goals as and when they go in. Archer's on the run here. Archer gets away from Anderson. Cameron Archer in behind. Archer! Speaking of goals, it's 2-2 for Cameron, and the Archer is back. Suffered that long injury which kept him on the sidelines, but I still think that he is our best striker here. Danny Ings, of course, our most prolific, but Cameron Archer is still just, I think, 23 years of age, 79 overall. He could be our long-term striker in this team. Brilliant finish, and Sheffield United lead. Late Everton corner here into stoppage time. Swung into the middle. Ings clears, but only as far to the man on the edge of the box. No! And it's the former Liverpool man who was on loan at the club, scoring for Everton. Just fell to him on the edge of the box. He shifted it to the left, and we're not going to end this horrible run without a win. It's another draw, so I can't complain. It's not a defeat, but we really should have won that. So away at the G-Tech in our next game, where you may remember in the fixture last season we completely lost it with Wes Foderingham in this game. Subbed him off at the break after 2 absolute howlers. This game doesn't quite have as much riding on it, as I am resigned to the fact that we're not going to finish in a European spot for next season. It would be nice, however, to end the horrific run that we've been on and pick up a win, as we've got Manchester City in our final league game, where I'm probably just going to throw out the kids and the OAPs. Loads of space out wide for Robertson. We've picked him out nicely. I see Archer calling for it in the back stick, and that's a great save by the Brentford keeper. Not sure if it's still Mark Flecken or if they've replaced him. Suchic's corner, Anel's up, and it is Mark Flecken, I just saw it at the bottom, who makes another brilliant stop. This time Jefferson's under it, and Anel! We love it when the captain comes up with a goal. Another corner for us here. Suchic works it onto the left peg, swings it in, Sousa's there! And surely this time Sheffield United are going to return to winning ways. 2-0 just before the break. Oh, Osborne's giving it away. That is a gift. Brentford back into it, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if we bottle this from here. 20 to play. Brentford need one more. Kaminsky into Gunter. Swings it in. Kelly's there. But it comes out to Jensen. 5 to play here. Conceded a late equaliser in the last game against Everton. And De Silva has done the same here for Brentford. This has been the worst end to a season I think I've ever seen any team have. Never mind on the beach. We're fucking on Mars. This has been atrocious. So I'm just simming through here, and I believe that there were some games in hand to be played during the week. And yeah, we've dropped to 9th, and Everton could leapfrog us again if we lose and they win on the final day. A point behind Liverpool, so the highest we can finish is 8th, but we need to beat Manchester City, who are out of the title race now but have locked up 4th place. So they've not got anything to play for. We've not really got anything to play for. As for down at the bottom, well, Brighton are down, Southampton are down, and Leeds are down as well. So nothing to play for on the final day. It's a pretty boring finale. Manchester United could still nick the title from Arsenal, but it's looking very unlikely. So final day of the season, and as I mentioned, I've put a really weak team out there. I'm expecting City to absolutely go to town on us, but we thought that last year, and we ended up beating Spurs here on the final day. Acuna, Foden inside, and there's the goal. Mateus Nunes opens the scoring for City, and it only took 15 minutes. Here's Greaves, able to drive forward with the ball. Still Greaves into Ryan Brewster. Oh, we know he loves scoring at the Etihad. Nearly scored here at Bramall Lane to level things up. Demetriou. Still Demetriou on his debut, saved by Edison. Norwood swings it in. Anel's underneath it. It's off the crossbar, and we were so close to an equaliser. Corner swung in, looking for Haaland. Well won in the middle, and Powell, the substitute, can bring it away. And he has got some pace, Powell, and he's going to get there. Oh, this would be such a story. Tom Powell. Oh, he's gone all the way. Oh, Connor Manning and Tom Powell writing their names in Sheffield United history this season. I love it when you've got youth players bursting onto the scene. Powell's just come off the bench, and he's absolutely rinsed the Manchester City defence. We know he's got a bit of pace about him, but he had the finish past Edison as well. One apiece. Now we come on the break, and surely not. Demetriou is through. Another of the youth players. Oh, he's put it wide. What a chance. Heading out on loan to Basel next season. Brother of Georgios is Georgios Demetriou. There's 2 of them. And he was so close to scoring a historic goal for the club there. De Bruyne goes short. Oh, Haaland. That's special from the Norwegian. Should have been 2-1 down the other end. And Erling Haaland says, lads, this is how you finish. Brilliant overhead kick at the near post, and City are going to win it. Greaves, little flick. We're still holding out hope that there's a chance. Brewster, brilliant. Ryan Brewster, 2-2. Manchester City will not win it. It's the Pep Guardiola killer, Ryan Brewster, who scores once again against City. Brewster's first league goal of the campaign, and what a time to get it. Final day of the season, rescues a point. It probably won't make a bit of difference to the league table, but it's nice not to win on the final day. We have drawn so many games in today's episode. 2-2 once again, and a very, very solid point against Manchester City. So that is it for Season 2 with Sheffield United, where you will see we finished in the top half, with which I'm very, very happy with in the end. Said I wanted to avoid relegation, and we knew that was done pretty early on. As I mentioned earlier, Brighton, Southampton and Leeds heading back down to the Championship. Arsenal end up winning the league with Newcastle in second, who were out in front for so long. Manchester United in third and Man City in fourth, making up the Champions League spots. Chelsea in the guaranteed Europa League spot in fifth. Spurs sixth, Villa seventh and Liverpool in eighth. Everton finished just above us in ninth, and we prop up the top half of the table. So yeah, pretty good season from us. We'll check out the FA Cup winners if it's been played. It was Liverpool, so I have no idea what that means for the European spots, as Liverpool won both domestic cups but finished in eighth. So I have no idea. We'll find out when we head into next season. As for the European competitions, well, the Conference League was won by Eintracht Frankfurt beating Union Berlin in an all-German affair. The UEFA Europa League was won by Athletic Bilbao, another Spanish winner, as Aston Villa made it to the semi-final. And the Champions League was won by Manchester City, winning it again. I can't remember who won it last year in the save. I have a feeling it may have been Man City. I have a feeling they went back-to-back. So now a three-peat, I believe, for the Manchester club. I may be wrong, but I think they won it last year as well. So that is all of the winners of each competition. Going to go and run through the squad very quickly, and then we will be ready to head into Season 3 with our Blades. So going to run through the squad very quickly here, as we've got the full 52 players in our squad. So starting off with Gavin Bazunu, should have played him in the final game. He played every single league game bar one. Great signing, 9 clean sheets, and he grew 4 ratings in the end. So yeah, really solid pickup at the beginning of the season. Says he's in bad form, but he was brilliant for us this campaign. Of course, our fullbacks were massively vital to us in the early parts of the season, and I think losing both Giles and Jayden Bogle, wherever he is, really threw a spanner in the works. They both actually dropped a rating. They were both at 79. Bogle still got 3 months out, just 3 weeks for Giles, but both really important in the way we play in this system. The game time at centre-back was really shared out. Anel starts the majority of our games on the right side, but with Kelly and Greaves, as I say, sharing the game time. I say Kelly is probably just ahead of Jacob at the moment. Trusty probably going to be sold in the summer if we can shift him on. Still got 2 months on the injury table, but yeah, he's just never really got going at the Blades. And as we continue to scroll through, obviously Jayden Bogle we've discussed. Vinny Souza, massive part of this team. 30 games played in the Premier League, 3 goals and 3 assists, but it's the defensive work that he gets through that you don't really see as much on camera, and I'd be very surprised if there weren't some big bids for him in the summer. He's been class for 2 years for us now. Tom Powell, of course, scoring on his debut, 1 game and 1 goal. Absolutely class from him. All of the midfielders really put in a shift for us this year. We didn't have a huge amount of goals from our midfielders. Obviously, Harmer only shipped in with 2 this year, where he was one of our top scorers in the previous campaign. Hackney, who loves scoring against Liverpool, really solid season from him once again. 33 games played in the Premier League. And for Luka Sucic, who started the season like a house on fire, he has grown 5 ratings up to 81. 8 goals and 6 assists in the league. He was absolutely immense at the start of the campaign, and as I say, he did drop off in the second half. Again, he's still been class for us, and I wouldn't be surprised if, like Vinicius Souza, there is some interest in the summer, because he has been so vital to this team since signing in the summer. And as for the strikers, Danny Ings, as you can see, sadly declining pretty rapidly, 75 overall now. And we've got a decision to make with Danny heading into next year. 15 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League is a great record, but he's rapidly declining. I think we're going to have to replace him next summer. Che Adams was pretty decent as well across all competitions. 10 goals and 4 assists, brought him in on a free, of course. Brewster, not a huge amount of game time this year and not really developing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him depart next summer, as I think it's best for his career. Cameron Archer, again, alongside Danny Ings, probably our best performer up top, although Che Adams did outscore him. He did have that long injury which kind of halted his campaign, but I do think if we can keep him fit next year, he can grow into a real animal for this team. And Daniel Jebison, again, with a really solid campaign. 12 goals, 6 of them coming in the Carabao Cup, but really handy option to have off the bench in the Premier League as well. So that's sort of a full roundup. I've kept it quite short because we had a lot of games in today's episode. We'll take a quick look at the final player statistics as Marcus Rashford wins the Golden Boot, pipping his England colleague Tammy Abraham by a single goal. We had Danny Ings in 11th place with 15 goals this season. Did anyone else make it? No, not in the top scorers. Gustavo Harmer, well, I actually missed that going through the squad. I didn't realise how many assists he had this season. I did say he's better in that deeper role, and that is proven right there with him winning the assist title. And Onana just pipped Gavin Bazunu to the Golden Glove. 10 clean sheets for the Cameroonian, beating Bazunu by 1. So that will do it for today's video, guys. It's the end of Season 2. Smash a like if you are excited for Season 3 with Sheffield United. I know that I am, and I feel like we can push next season and make it into those European places. That's our objective for next year, and we'll be back to rebuild the squad, invest some more money, and hopefully we can push for Europe next year. I'll catch you in the next episode very soon, and peace.